Hal started the engineering program at UCC, and this has been, if my math is right, I think it's been over 50 years ago. And so he's created a structure that has sustained a viable engineering program at UCC for that long.
We had 4 pretty exceptional students, and myself. We went down to California and took our, it's called the EIT, it used to be called the EIT, the Engineering Training Exam, and nobody thought that somebody from a 2-year school could pass the test, and all 5 of us passed it. So he got into trouble with the National Engineering Board.
Our kids.
Good instructor.
Number one, he never lectured for the entire 50 minutes. And number 2, when he wasn't lecturing, he was telling stories. So he would finish his lecture, and this was almost every class. He would finish his lecture a little bit early, ask if there was any questions, and answer those questions, and then he would say, well, you're free to go, and nobody would leave. Because they all knew that he would start telling stories. And usually the stories related to the stuff that he was teaching about that day. So it was really neat just to get the science and engineering stuff out of the way, and ultimately so we could listen to a story of how that related to real world engineering.
At UCC, like Jeff said, it was definitely fun having our father as an instructor.
And we would spend, seems like the first few years, we would spend half a day in the office talking with customers and helping engineers design systems that used our products. And then the other half of the day would be in the shop building product or designing new products.
It was really small, so I mean, in the beginning when there was half a dozen of us, we would be taking an order on the phone and writing it down on a napkin, and then we'd run down the shop and make it, and then we'd haul it to the UPS shipping shed. Literally, that happened every day for quite a few years.
Yeah, that was a good project we did, Steamboat. They used to shoot up. Steamboat's a little restaurant, and there's a bunch of cottages where people stay, and all their stuff was going right into the river. So we actually fixed that, and we pumped it under the road up on the hill and did some big trenches. So we wouldn't go water anymore. So that was a good project.
We're pretty excited about graduation and getting all lined up for it. And in class one day, we're like questioning, "Are you gonna be a graduation, right?" And Hal's like, "Yeah, no, I got hay on the ground. I can't make it." And we're like, "No, we're not having any bit of this." So we all showed up with our pickup trucks, and we picked the hay up and we stuck it in the barn. Hal made it to graduation, needless to say. And I probably shouldn't even tell this part, but we all remember pizza after we got done picking up the hay, and your wife's over there looking. Did she not know that you bought us beer?
She knows.
Okay, good. All right, good. That's really all they got for today. How'd they do?
Good.
All right, good. Still like me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I went through the engineering program here, then went to Oregon Tech, then ended up in the transportation. That's where I pretty much made my career. So I refer to myself as a commodities relocation engineer. But the critical thinking that Hal got us all to do, it doesn't apply just to engineering. It applied for me in transportation. I mean, people say, well, would say to me when they found out I, have a civil engineering degree, you didn't really use it. I said, well, I use it every day. I mean, in figuring problems, because that's what engineering teaches you to do, is figure out what's the best solution for a problem. And this guy he's the one that got those wires connected. Not just for me, but for many, 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 many students. So, thank you, Hal.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Every year we had a field trip to the wastewater treatment plant that the Forest Service had up at Diamond Lake. I can't even recall, and to this day I don't think I've ever visited the wastewater plant, but it was usually in June, just before school got out, and so we would have to since it was at Diamond Lake, we had to take a boat. And then if you take a boat, you have to take a fishing pole. And so anyway, we ended up fishing most of the time, and I can't recall ever getting to the wastewater plant.
That's right, I don't think we ever made it.
Someday.
I know in the soil testing, he put 2 or 3 of us together to go do something,
Yeah,
and it
right.
was a matter of one person didn't want to do much and the other one did, and almost make us fight amongst ourselves. While I was here, we kind of kept track of the graduates and where they went and to see where they got the jobs. I'd had 2 or 3 work for me over the years, and when I was here, it was a matter of you find jobs and you recommend somebody, and we're almost trying to send the right person to the right job. I run into students now, some of them here over 20 years later have still got that same job, or thankful of what they got at UCC. That was the best retraining and kind of new career opportunity that I ever could imagine.
Wow, this is a perfect place. You couldn't ask for anything better. Whatever you want to make happen, you can make it happen. So.
This program that he's created, that's continued and sustained. And I've seen a lot of changes, positive changes in students because of this program. An interesting thing here is there's a really diverse student population. So we have, again, students straight out of high school and then returning students. And so those who have an opportunity to start a new career. And so it's overall, that's probably one of the things that makes this campus so great, is to provide those opportunities. And so we've seen those impacts. And so and like Hal's talked about and some other people today, there are a lot of people in this community who have gone through this program and who are now here locally and have been able to get better jobs and have professional careers. I'd like to thank Hal because this has been really rewarding, rewarding career for me at UCC, because I had this opportunity to have a positive impact on students and their lives. And that opportunity existed for me and other students because of what Hal did when he was here.
Matter like a jigsaw puzzle. You just sort of start shuffling things around and see what works. It can continue to get better and better.